Okay.
Look like we're live. I
Hi, guys.
think my guitar's already gone out of tune, dog, in the last 2 minutes. Maybe I'm just out of tune, dog.
Oh, you're out of tune, all right. You're out of line for sure.
I'm always out of line, dog. Always. That has never changed.
Hi, everybody. How's it going, gang?
Hello.
Happy hump day. Happy ShamWow.
Happy hump day, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Yeah.
Dad. Got this thing feedback.
Grafani,
Hey,
good to see
Dad.
you, brother. Hope all is
Grafani.
well in the booming metropolis of Denver and Carl DeShong. Hello, Raj. Hello, Carl.
Benjamin, the first one in the room that we can see. Maybe there was the one that beat you, but dude, it's crazy. So I'll go back to. So we're on. Actually, I didn't have this on the agenda, but a friend of mine, Chris Wilkie, tuned in last week, and I went through the comments afterwards. For some reason, I missed it when we were live, and he was like, "Dog, are you using the OPS whatever?" I don't even know what the hell he said, but I basically figured out that he was asking me what kind of format we use for this. So, Chris, if you tune in, I doubt you will tonight, but it's called Be Live. So even though we're on our Facebook page right now, this is all through Be Live, which is a different format. That's how we can do the split screen and like this really rad professional imagery. And I totally did a tutorial on it like 8 weeks ago. And
we've been
and yeah, so man, I'm producing this myself, guys.
Dude,
This is even,
dog. The
not even post production, the ShamWow, the whole deal. So whatever OBS or OPS thing that you asked me, Wilkie, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, but I do know that Be Live is the name of this here deal. Rich.
This is where I give everybody love. Sarah, Heather, Rich Sawyer, you know what to do. Jer,
hey Jer,
you know what to do. Megan, Nicole,
Nico,
and Joe. Oh, and Joe Miller, my spirit animal.
Ding dongs. Nice, Jer. You ding dongs. Speaking of Joe Miller, hey, Grafani, pipe down. Pipe down.
Your tone there, Grafani.
Yeah.
Damn, I miss you, Ben. I love you, brother. Love you, Dad.
Yeah. I just hung out with Joseph literally like an hour ago.
Literally, Mr. Miller?
Yeah, we had some Miller time. I have a couple of services yet to be rendered for him and his wife that we discussed. Shannon Martinson, from Old Pole Holdingford, St. Wendell. That is badass. Hey man. Shannon, I know that we haven't met yet. Shannon is a buddy of my cousin Keith. And
I thought it was a different Shannon. I just didn't read the comment.
No, Shannon Martinson from Central Min.
Well, hi, Shannon, who's a stranger. I'll blow you kisses anyways while I blow my friends Lindsay.
So that one real quick here, John. This was part of the agenda, but the Colonel is here.
Oh, nice.
And this is a rad shirt, and I meant to bring this up because, as you know, John and I both are facilitating education to our young spawn here in quarantine, which means we're not teaching, we're just facilitating said protocol from the schools that get sent home to them, right? So I was thinking today about state shapes, and I swear to God, I wasn't like I thought about that and then was like, oh, I should wear that shirt today. So I was wearing this, and I go, hey, Bubba. So my son Stetson, it's actually his birthday on Saturday, by the way. Happy birthday, Bubba. I was like, do you know what state this is? Oh, wait, it's backwards. I go, you know what state this is? He's like, no, Dad. And I'm like, well, where am I from? He's like, Montana. I said, no, where was I born? He's like, I don't know. So I go, well, where do we go visit? Oh, he's like, oh, Minnesota. So folks that don't know your state shapes, Minnesotan. It's backwards. Minnesotan. And I told Joe and Lindsay, I'm like, dude, you guys got to remind me to talk about my shirt. And they're like, well, we don't want to say anything. And I'm like, no, just say, dude, talk about your shirt. But then Colonel did it for us. So there you go.
Bless you, Colonel. Yeah, for what it's worth, dog out. My kids have no idea that I was born and raised in Wyoming. Well, born in Battle Mountain, Nevada. Raised in Casper, though, Wyoming's such a deep part of my heart. But obviously, when I moved to Montana, I found the tribe that I needed. Attaboy, doggy. So for what it's worth, like obviously we've found our family and road family, which most of them show up. Thank you for all 11 of you showing up. And then our friend Jer, who somehow rolled off a couch and maybe the joint didn't burn down your apartment. I'm really glad that you could join us, Jer.
John, you're planting a bunch of stuff in your yard, like shelter belts and whatnot.
Yeah, dude.
Do you have any kind of actual tangible things for society or your friend, like vino? Can you grow some grapes or something with all the work you're putting into your place?
So for what it's worth, I do have 7 grape plants in the ground that are all waking up currently. So
currently,
yeah.
is that a pun?
Now, from what I understand from my vino making friends, K grapes, not necessarily the best for wine. Edelweiss, not necessarily the best for wine, but
Edelweiss.
Yes, but Valiant grapes apparently make okay drinking wine, like table
Valium.
wine. Valiant.
Oh,
that was a valiant effort in being funny with your sleepy joke.
I thought you said Valium grapes. I'm like, Jesus, tell me more.
Dude, Megan. All right, so Megan, for those of you guys, Heather Domi knows this. Like, all right, so I'm playing a solo show, not a solo show, a singer-songwriter show with 5 other frickin' artists. That's what an arrogant cock slip there. But I have to do 15 minutes on my own, and you will see that's the set list. And so every time I have troubadours on the list, I always have to dedicate it to Meg.
Well, let's play those in order. Watch you play So Far Gone to start us out, bro. Right. Oh, here, let me put up, John. That was a great segue. Let me take this down and put up. Let me see watch my editing here. Let me take this out and put up your ad. So if you see that, kids, that solid 15 on the right side of the screen is what John is going to be doing on Friday, right, buddy?
Friday at Lewis and Clark, and it's an early night, 7, and everybody gets about 15. Right on, Meg. We'll see you there. I'll make sure I dedicate.
Do you know if that's the order? Are you going second?
Yeah, I've been texting. So Taylor is promoting this thing, and so I'll be honest. I'm just going to show up with a guitar and try.
That's usually what you do. So you'll be fine.
Yeah, it's gonna, I remember what it's like to be social. Maybe like sing with a mask on.
Go ahead and why don't you crank that out, man. Do the first one.
Sounds good. So hi everybody, my name's John McClellan. Back when I was 19 years old, I started I got hired by a band called the Blackwater Band, and I played every Friday, Saturday night singing classic rock and country songs. Cut my teeth at 21 years old. I fell in love with a gentleman by the name of Dave Matthews. And after I came out of that love spell, having learned more guitar than I could dream of, it was time to start writing songs. Started a little band called the Clintons. The Clintons had a song called So Far Gone. And So Far Gone was just this excuse to be gibberish and have a really good groove. But years later, Dog and I thought, man, there's legs to that song. Well, fast forward to me having a cup of coffee with my friend, Jen. And she's telling me about, she's a really engaging storyteller, And so she's telling me about being over in Europe and, in a loud kind of club. And she makes eyes with this guy and somehow they flirt through the night. And it's like one of the most epic hookup stories. But the whole time she's telling me, I'm like, no, that's amazing. Whoa. How did you have the balls? And so, and she was just so funny that, after that conversation, I told Dog, I'm rewriting So Far Gone, and this sucker's about Jen. He was like, do it. So, Jen, wherever you are in the universe, love you, baby. So Far Gone. Jenny grew up in Amsterdam, just outside of Bozeman. Bought herself a ticket to the Netherlands, dancing as she's going. I found herself in a district with a red light. Had herself a magic cookie, now she's alright. Pints in a pub and it's gonna be a good night. That's when she saw him, they traded smiles. He's headed her way. Small town Montana girl, what you gonna say? Parlez-vous français? It don't matter anyway, because I'm so far gone. Anything you say just turns me on.
Some boots and pants.
no words, plays too damn loud, it's so absurd, but his hand takes hers. Time to go shake, but her brain's a blur. His rock star jaw and olive skin, waking up the animal from deep within. Never heard the song, she's American, doesn't speak the language. He pulls her close, she's trying to be smooth. Small town Montana girl, let's see you make your move. Parlez-vous français? It don't matter anyway, because I'm so far gone. Anything you say just turns me on. Get down, get busy, thump thump on the dance floor, baby, feeling dizzy, lit up so high. Show a little leg for an Uber ride, cobblestone, everything, old world charm. Beautiful people walking arm in arm, down along the river by the light of the stars. And baby, it gets better than locking lips on a bridge over the water. The evening's cool, the moment's getting hotter. Parlez-vous français? Boy, 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 boy. It don't matter anyway. Bow, 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 bow. Cause it's so far gone. Anything you say just turns me on. Uno más. Parlez-vous. Sing it, Mac. Oi, 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 oi. It don't matter anyway. Fuzzy hardwood, because I'm so far gone. Anything you say just turns me on. Parlez-vous français? Baby, never matter, don't matter anyway. Whistles.
Interesting fact about that.
Talk to me.
That song has never been recorded on a record.
True.
By the full band or us, and we had every intention. In fact, we did it on Under the Big Sky, the premiere, the pilot. We did that, and we had every intention for that to be one of the singles off this record. Like, it was on there. We're like, yes. And then after that, we being John and Jim, wrote about 6 more songs, and it actually bumped it out because it doesn't fit in this record. It's definitely going to go on a project, but I can't believe, like, I was like, dude, I love that song. I love playing it, and it's still not going on the record. I'm like, fuck.
Dude, what's crazy, dog, is you and I have always made records because we have about 15 songs and we whittle it down to 9 or 10, you know? And by the way, you got to give shout outs. Annie, love you so much. Jess, Heathman, Christopher. Oh, we already said hey to the Colonel. Andrea, mwah. All right. And Mom and Dad, Buzzy Hardwood in the house. Mom, love you. All right. So
did you see the El Wencho? Yes.
I just wanted to finish this thought because you and I have never been in the luxurious place where we can choose a record out of 30 songs ever. So the fact that we have 10 songs that are kind of cohesive and sort of go together at this point in our career is like, what luxury. But yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah, that song will see the light of day at some point, some way, somehow, even if it's just a live record somewhere. Your turn.
I want to go back to, I love how they're getting all this content now. So they didn't even have to have an agenda because we're getting it all from the chat room. This is what it's about, peeps. Way to go. It only took us 8 of these for it to figure out. But El Wencho is so genius.
There's so many times that we've joked with Max that we need El Wencho wheat. El Wencho wheat.
Okay, so Heath passed this on to Maximus, and we need to have a picture of Colonel on the front. And only a few of you know who Colonel is, with a freaking mustache. And it's got to be, dude. It's got to be like a stadium beer. It's got to be. It doesn't have to be light beer, but it's got to be like a Pilsner, like something like totally chuggable.
Yeah.
So that El Wencho, you are onto something. Let's all. We've said this right now, but how many witnesses do we have? I can't see the number. 16, 18 people.
El Wencho.
El Wencho. Let's make this happen. Let's do a movement. And I don't mean bowel. I mean vocal. Let's make El Wencho happen. Make it happen, Heather. I'll even go, you know what? Hold on. You keep talking, Joe.
No worries. Well, then let's move along, y'all. So, by the way, all 4 of these songs I co-wrote with Jim Napier. Wherever you are in the universe, I love you, Jim Napier. Jim and I, we were joking that we'd never written a Western, or maybe Jim said, "Dude, we should write a Western," and I've got an idea. The details of the actual genesis of that are foggy, but I remember when we both said, "Dude, let's write a Western." We jumped on it. So Jim had this idea of a dude. Like you pull up in a car to a stoplight and there's a dude walking across the street and it's the guy who's with your ex-girlfriend. And his whole thought was, is that the guy that turned my whole world upside down? And we wrote the first verse, and the first verse has not changed. And then the second verse, we were stuck in what we call second verse hell. You get halfway through the song, you get your hook done, and then you don't know where to start your second verse. And so then I said, dude, what if this song was about a dude who starts growing weed, but his ex becomes a cop and nails him for it? And he goes, I built myself a greenhouse and I hired a couple guys. And then he spit out the line, they know to grow the strains that bring them joy through bloodshot eyes. And dog, I'm telling you, for the first time maybe ever in our writing history, we were stuck in verse 2 hell, and within a minute had verse 2. Because the next line was, when harvest time was done, it made that dirty money clean, because guys like me don't get the girls like you without the green. We were just like, holy crap, bam. So
Yep.
yeah, the latest joke is, and I'm going to say this even on Friday, every gig I'm just going to be like, hey, y'all, here's a Western for you. Can't have a Western without someone getting shot. My favorite little silly gimmick. All right, upside down. Distance grew between us like a river in a flood. One day you see the fence post and the next you just see mud. Your eyes, they told a story on that cloudy afternoon, that you'd be moving on and there was nothing I could do. Choked up on my sorrow, I pulled down my oily hat. I tore away the rear view, there'd be no need for that. Acting broken-hearted like a voiceless balladeer. Hard rain from above, matched downpour of my tears. I could hear the lonesome weeping willow whisper in the wind, waving at my windshield like a lonesome mandolin. Jacked up in a tiny cabin east of Edgartown, dreaming about the girl who turned my whole world upside down. I built myself a greenhouse, hired a couple guys, know to grow the strains that bring them joy through bloodshot eyes. When harvest time was done, it made that dirty money clean. Guys like me don't get the girls like you without the green. I called to say I got a job that pays me like a king. Of course you didn't answer, you just let the bastard ring. I couldn't help but wonder if you'd sound yourself a man. Little did I know that you were making other plans. I heard you got your act together, starting life anew. You went to the academy, joined the boys in blue. Now you're locked and loaded with a SWAT team all around. I'm raided by the girl who turned my whole world upside down. Cutting buds when all the doors blew open like a bomb. Shouts and shots and police pouring in with weapons drawn. Like a fool, I grabbed a pistol strapped upon my side. A flash, then another one. 2 good men had died. The place lit up like fireworks upon a summer cruise. Cops and crops and flower tops were mowed down in plain view. When the place fell silent, I fell down and knew right then I'd taken half a dozen rounds, my time was at an end. Her smoking gun above me as it started to fade to black. I only went through all of this to try and get her back. The lights go out, my body's limp, I'm splayed out on the ground. Shot to pieces by the girl who turned my whole world upside down. The lights go out, my body's limp, I'm splayed out on the ground. Shot to pieces by the girl who turned my whole world upside down. Run it up, roll it up, run it up, cut it up, drag it up, smoke it up, I'm high. Put it in, take a hit, hold it in for a bit, put it in the road's clip. I'm high. Upside upside down. Can't have a Western without someone getting shot.
As of now, that's track 10. It might be moved up to 9, depending on the flow. But man, that is an epic tale, my friend.
That rocked that one. And it looks like a couple other people have shown up. Hi, friend. Hi, Darcy. Hi, Jane. Yes, Jane. So yeah, my friend Jane in Red Lodge. She loves the singer-songwriter geek stuff. So this is my dry run for my Friday show, Jane. Thanks.
Jane, I see that. Yeah, I forgot to comment that Lee's with her. Hi, Lee. Hey, bud.
God bless Lee Moran.
For those of you that don't know,
spirit animal, but Lee Moran is definitely Cure Dog's spirit animal. There's no doubt.
For those of you that don't know Lee Moran, he is the finest harp player on both sides of the Mississippi.
Lee makes Dog and I better Americans.
Dude is a legend.
Every time Lee walks into a room, a kid gets a balloon and a smile. That's how magical Lee Moran. We love you, Lee. And we love you too, Jane. But I know that you geek out for this.
It's true. We love the hell out of that guy. He is a legend, and yeah, it's when you do see Lee, sometimes he'll grace his presence or grace us with his presence on stage in Edgar. I think they did Craft Local one time too down in Billings, but dude, guy's a legend. Hey, Randy. Hey man. Randy, so I don't know if I told folks about your Hysteria track.
Oh yeah, the
last couple of weeks, and I don't know if you got any traffic from that. I don't need any, I'm not looking for any kind of thanks. I'm just saying I wanted you to know if you haven't tuned in, we've been pushing people your way. So hopefully Randy, we
all 6 of our fans to your Hysteria page. So we're hoping
absolutely 6.5. 6.5.
6.5. You include my dad. Love you, Dad. That was dumb. Sorry, Dad.
No, go ahead. I got to look at this.
No worries. Well, then onward with the singer-songwriter stuff. Jane, I love it how you're showing up. The first couple songs are lighthearted, and then I was like, then I'll hit him with something heavier, and then I'll end with something, emotional. Go ahead.
I know. Sorry, man. It's impossible to not cut each other off on this deal. It's ridiculous. We don't have like a sound engineer in there going.
Yeah.
So that I said was as of now it's supposed to be track 10, might be track 9, but so Ghosts Go West, which is the name of the new project, which is a Parts Unknown 2020 release. We just saw today the 2 concept visions for the vinyl, for the album art, for the cover. And then the back, we'll probably implement them both for Ghosts Go West. So we got to see them. I know that doesn't mean shit to you guys because we're not going to show them here, but it was a pretty cool day to be able to see some of that, some of the past, 90 to 120 days of BSing and talking shop on Marco Polo and on, Google Meets and everything else with our marketing guys about, and our designer, to see it come to fruition. And also I was proud of him because we got to finally see him spew out what he's been working on, which if you're an artist in songwriting or in graphic design or in anything is a big thing because you can finally share it. So it was a good day for us. We still haven't really decided on anything other than chewing on it for a little bit, but we are progressing.
Other than we're getting our kids through stay-at-home school and trying to slow and steady hack our way forward.
Yeah, I'm going with both, by the way, guys.
Have 6 for me, Reg. All right.
You want to play next? Go for it.
How is this for because I wanted to do Lady Sedona next. And Lady Sedona was originally going to be a song of some sort of, weird adventure in the desert. But then what it turned out to be in the end, and I didn't know it about 2/3 of the way through, this is your future self telling your present self that you're about to go through a relapse and that you shouldn't do it. And it's based around the Arabian scale, and I've never written anything in Arabian scale. So with that, I give you Lady Sedona.
This is our Kashmir.
Yeah, our When the Levee Breaks. All right. Welcome to the desert, boy. Sit down and have a drink. Your life may well depend on it. anyone can see. You come to chase your fortune from stories you've been told about Lady Sedona and her stash of devil's gold. Many men have set out to steal a fortune fair. They touch one piece of treasure, can't escape its snare. Sly Lady Sedona, she kills them with that greed. And to this day I'm still amazed, somehow I broke free. I felt her cast a spell on me, my eyes grew big and bright. My laughter filled the canyon, I flew into the night. The best intoxication, sweetest taste of light. The lady buried me in gold before the sun's first light. Listen, boy, she'll urge you, stay around. You go up there, you'll never come back down. Her kiss is the electricity, I felt the fire burn. You slipped into the atmosphere to be with only her. She'll wrap her arms around me, I'll never return. Lady Sedona. The lady watched me suffer and laughed with evil glee. I crawled for days to blinding sun upon my hands and knees. When I reached the liver, I let myself fall in. I didn't care if I would ever get back out again. I let the water take me a day or maybe more. When I woke, I scrambled from the rocks upon the shore. Hand reached out to grab me, the fist of Father Fate. He said, you'll live to tell the tale, and the lady backed away. No, she never took her eyes off of me. She said, you already know your destiny. Her kiss is the electricity, you'll feel the fire burn. You'll slip into the atmosphere to be with only her. She'll wrap her arms like chains around you, you'll never return. Lady Sedona. Chased me, she shook her head and smiled. I heard my own voice echo on the frigid air reply. I've killed many before you, and you'll be back this way. For greed will be the monster that'll kill us all someday. Uh-oh, you're on mute, dog, or I'm on mute. Did I lose the volume?
Oh, I said righteous, dude. Righteous. Yeah, I was unmuted. I muted myself. I don't know why, but well, I should mute you more often, actually. But what did I say that? Oh, I wasn't on mute when I said that. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Dad, I think so. When we originally demoed this, man, I had all kinds of background weird, and I tried to make it as bizarre and Arabian, and I still have the daydream of having that song recorded with a bunch of frantic Arabian violins, and to really sum up the discord, the internal discord that music creates. But yeah, man, I think we're gonna really strip that down and just let the song and the melody do the talking more than production. So I think that's the direction we're going in the whole thing. So,
hi, Lacey Dennison. How are you? Been a while. Good to see you, honey.
And Kieran, hello. I haven't seen Kieran for many moons.
Hey, Kieran.
Hello, good sir, as we would say in polite British.
I would like to comment on the fact that Nico Norton says that she's on the wagon. A little background for the rest of you. If you remember last week's episode, Joan and Josh, they were off on the road. Last
English accent.
It's terrible. What the hell is he talking?
Horrible English accents we have. All right.
We played a graduation party, our first gig in public in a long time, and Nico was the mother of the graduate, not the bride, but the graduate, and she tied one on, and apparently she's on the wagon for in,
The
in
foreseeable
yeah,
future.
an unannounced amount of time.
Uh,
Um,
that's a
Hi,
fantastic
Holly,
name
Miss
for it.
Holly. How you doing? Sorry we missed you, Holly. I was kind of hoping that you guys would just drop your plane over on. There was plenty of field out in Huntley to have Mikey come drop the plane off. But um, I, I, dude, you guys, we played to living, breathing people. It was amazing.
It was
Not breathing honest people, just living like alive people instead of concrete um, garage walls. It was awesome. We test ran a few of the songs that we haven't recorded yet on the record, but we know are going on there because we love them, and it was awesome. I got to sing "Bitter at Bride." We did a little rearrangement of Troubadours for the not a rearrangement, the new arrangement of it. So John's going to play Troubadours here in a little bit, but what we're going to do is he's going to do the first two verses.
Oh yeah.
Because it does tell a story, and then after the kind of the breakdown in the chorus, I'm actually going to come in for the last verse, and then we'll do harmonies on the way out. So it's going to be kind of like a building up of sorts. But the original plan was for we this has been evolving, so it was awesome to be able to actually try those things.
Oh yeah, live in front of real
And
people.
test them in front of real people to see
Yeah.
if they flew or not. And even if they flew for one night, you never know if they're going to just fall on their ass. But that's what we at Wencho here are here to prove. The two of us at Wencho Corporation.
International powerhouse. Owen.
Yeah, and see,
And
so much fun was had. And Jeremy Stevens, actually, the big Jer. John, I
Rory.
didn't tell you because so John got up and left at like 4 in the morning. Okay, because it was his son Finnegan's birthday, and
Yeah.
I took some time, John, to hang out with some friends of ours, but they're only friends of mine now because you couldn't make it. So, but me and my friend Jeremy took me to an undisclosed location, a secret watering hole that only him and I know about. It was fantastic, and we had a good time. We talked shop. We talked about morale, life, politics, not politics, just like how if we ruled the world, what it would look like. Riveting stuff.
Riveting.
Let's do Troubadours.
Yeah. So we're
Which
pretty
will be
yeah. The story.
This is going to be. Hold 1 second. Sorry.
No worries. My bad.
We've already recorded "Live by the Gun" first single. Red Dirt Road Trip second single. Third single is going to be Little Red Corvette, which we haven't recorded yet, which is the only cover on the record. But we do it our way, which is we've never heard it recorded that way. It could be that somebody's got something close to it, but we've never heard that arrangement of it. And fourth single is going to be Troubadours. And they're probably going to be in that order just because that's the way it works out. And then the rest of the tracks will fill in and everybody will hear later. I had a couple of people ask me when we release the singles, if they will be available to listen to. We are working that out. You're definitely going to be able to listen to them. Whether or not you can actually download them and purchase them, or purchase them and download them, we have to work that out and figure that out with our packaging, with iTunes and all that stuff. Because usually the way it works is we get a package based off of however many vinyls or discs we print through disc makers, and then they have a package deal to where they're like, okay, well, we'll put all this stuff on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon for you as part of your package deal. I don't know if it's feasible for us to actually do singles without a label. But we're going to figure it out. If at the very least, what we're going to do is when we first release them for like maybe the first couple of days, we'll have them on SoundCloud, so you can go listen for free. And then what we'll do is we're going to redo our website, going to totally redo it. And I think we'll be able to actually have single downloads for like $1 or whatever the normal price is. From our website. So actually there won't even be a vendor. It'll be just directly to us, which is obviously the best thing you can do. And there was some other stuff about some folks wanted to know about purchasing merch since we're not playing live shows. We have a website store. We have the Facebook store, which is actually the website store, but we just channel it through Facebook so you can direct yourself to that. The easiest way to do everything is to buy it right through us. We get the best margin that way. Like if you want to support us and you don't want to go through somebody else, please either go to our Facebook page or our website. That's the best margin for us. Other than live shows, we really don't have any other avenue to do it anyways. But if we did, like a lot of the bigger bands will do Amazon. So basically what happens with that is the label that the artist is under sells it to the distributor for a margin. The distributor then sells it to the vendor for a margin. So it basically gets taxed 2 to 3 times before it gets back to the artist. So I always buy it support them at the live show, and always just buy them directly through the website if you can. That's the best way to do it. Continue, John. Troubadours. Let's do it.
No, it's all good. Well, going back to it, Troubadours kind of fell out of Jim Napier. He sort of put that hook onto my lap, and then with a chisel and hammer, it changed very little. But what came out of it emotionally was all these amazing songs and bands that Dog and I have fallen in love with over the last 20 years, to sort of give them an homage of trying to tell a love story between two kids using song titles and bands and our love for red dirt music, so I think we captured it. But the first couple of verses, like Dog said, I'm going to do them on the record. And then the last couple of verses, Dog will sing them. But Dog is singing the verses about cross Canadian ragweed. Dog's the one who introduced me to ragweed and Mickey and the Motor Cars. I think I have Barrick. Thank you, Justin Barrick, wherever you are in the universe, for introducing me to Randy Rogers and Wade Bowen. But all that said, probably our favorite cohesive band just for road dogs was the Turnpike Troubadours. And so the song is called Troubadours, and obviously the double meaning behind our love for the band, but also, the fact that we consider ourselves troubadours, and troubadours more so than just weekend warriors. Music is in our blood. We'll do it till we can't. I mean, we say that all the time, and it will be very obvious to both of us when it's time to hang up our boots on this band thing. But I see no, it's just a big long road that just goes for a while. So
this song takes all of Tornado Alley and puts it into one song, basically, as an original. So it's paying homage to everybody in a song, and not by covering them, but by recognizing them. All right, dude.
Nailed it. Love it. Oh, yeah, and I got to dedicate it to Meg. Because the first time I played it, Meg went, "That's one of the greatest songs you've ever written." And I went, "And now that's your song forever, Meg." All right, Troubadours. We were full of midnight swagger, living in that speed trap town. Never got that far away, even with the hammer down. Damn quails are in my speakers, so sparked another J. All our expectations slipped away. Now the troubadours remind us we should quit when we're ahead. Some things you can only sing when things go left unsaid. A melody that speaks to me as we're out running wild, trying to find ourselves among these dark and dirty miles. What do I gotta do? Whatever I gotta prove. Those lyrics sing to how I feel inside. Our story's still untold, and we're ragged as the road. We could make this into something if we tried. That music's into my bloodstream. It hits me like diamonds in gasoline. Even if we fall too far this time, living life just like the songs we love that get us high. That's a soundtrack we'll be singing till the day we die. Let's go and chase the sundown out there on the interstate. It's not the destination, but the memories we create. You rave about the Beatles, I'll always love the Stones. We're bound to be together on this wicked, twisted road. Now we're raking out the ragweed, we forget about our fear. As them boys from Oklahoma take us anywhere but here. No matter what the future holds, as lovers or as friends, the road goes on forever and the party never ends. What do I gotta do? Whatever I gotta prove. Those lyrics sing to how I feel inside. Our story's still untold, and we're ragged as a road. We can make this into something if we try. That music's into my bloodstream. It hits me like diamonds in gasoline. Even if we fall too hard this time, living life just like the songs we love that get us high. That's the soundtrack we'll be singing till the day we die. Troubadours.
Well done.
Thanks, brother. And
those are going to be that's the fourth single, which won't be necessarily track 4. I think it's like track 7. We're still working on the layout of that. Yeah, that's a good one. That one was written basically in February. Not this February, but a year ago. But it's one of the newer ones of the new songs, because we of the 12 tracks, well, 11 if we count without Corvette. We had 4 of those actually, as of a year ago, and then Jim and John took off on a pace unrivaled in recent years by themselves, and wrote like 6 songs in about 2 weeks. So that was one of them. It's definitely found its place in a life of its own. So I was going to, where was it? John, you have anything to add to that? Sorry.
No, but it is wild that all of my creative friends, I've been asking them, have you been writing during quarantine? And all of them have been shut down. And Randy Craig and I were just chatting about Joe Rogan, but even Joe Rogan on his podcast has been saying he has not been writing comedy. He has not, like, it's this quarantine has been this weird emotional trauma to creatives, man. And I tell you what, this you gotta love isolating an extrovert from human beings and then wondering, how is your mental health holding up? So I'm really looking forward to being able to see people and just spiritually and emotionally recharge, just to get back to that place where my batteries feel full enough to I can start go failing on guitar. Because when you songwrite, you just fail and fail and fail and fail. Like Troubadours kind of was one of those few songs that's just, it's beautiful right away. And you're just like, oh, wow, yeah, there's something here. But, like Lady Sedona is just hack and slash until you're like, oh, that's cool. And right now I don't have the excess energy to spend on anything, man. Jeez. So this is really amazing of you guys to show up and just give us love, man.
Chad Gibson, thank you for your donation.
Yeah.
Your gratuity that just came over my phone. That he threw some bread over to us. I appreciate that, brother. We miss you.
Yeah.
Guys, I think that's about it. There's a couple other things that I was going to mention. I did Edgar, which is supposed to be this Sunday, the 24th, their Shrimp Fest, which is an annual deal. That was kind of still up in the air as of last week. We are going to do our best to move that to, we're looking at a date in June right now, but I'm not going to give you the date because I don't know if it's going to work. But it's not canceled, it's postponed, which is one of the few that have not been full on canceled. So we will still plan on being, and actually Lee Moran and Charlie are going to be there. I think they're hopefully it would still work out for them to be there with us for that. For those guys to do some stuff, and then we'll go up there, and then hopefully they can join us for a few tunes. So all of our the posse that usually heads to Edgar, that is still going to happen hopefully within the next 6 to 8 weeks. We're not going to postpone it to like September. We're going to see if we can knock this thing out. So the other thing is the private parties. So we've actually, obviously, we've lost a bunch of shows just due to they couldn't move it. We couldn't move it. We still have a full schedule because there's some stuff that has been canceled, but then there's other stuff that has come and replaced it. And then the stuff that is down in August still, that's not full blown festivals, is still on the radar. So right now we're actually gaining a lot more private parties than we actually had before. Which John and I mean, we love playing shows in general, but like sometimes those private parties are really
Awesome.
they're beneficial for us because we actually get to sit down and hang out with you guys and not, it's not somebody's wedding. I mean, that's all great, but like when it's stuff like we can come to your shop and play your shop party or, whatever, your backyard, we get to kind of mingle a little bit more. So that we are getting some more of those. And I've had people ask about what they need to do. Just DM us through Facebook, Josh at Wencho. You can just email me. Don't email John. Don't call John. He's not going to answer.
I will just say, oh yeah, here's Dog's contact info.
Yeah. Leah, as far as I know, Wildcatter is still on. That's in everything in July. Everything in July that we had is still on. So that's great. You guys are going to know when we know. There's some stuff that we never even announced that's not happening, so it doesn't really matter. It's kind of a wash. Yeah. And there are a couple of things that we're still working on rescheduling, but I just don't like announcing stuff until I kind of know that it's 95% going to happen. So hang in there with us. It's my son's birthday on Saturday, Johnny. So John and I kind of have a May gauntlet. We decided to have our wives decided to have kids within a week of each other.
One thing fans won't care at this point. Both. This, but you got married. Yeah. You got married the third week of August. Yeah. John and you got married the third week of August. Levi and Angie got married the third. So we always take the third week of August off, and we all have babies in May. Do the math.
So May is a big birthday celebration month for the both of us. So this will be the last one of the group. John's birthday's in May. My daughter, his son Finnegan. My son Bubba Stetson is going to be 6 on Saturday. So we're the last couple of weekends we've either been playing live or recording. But we're going to take this weekend off and celebrate the memories of our friends and family who have served, obviously, with everybody else, and kind of take some time to appreciate this downtime. We're not going to record, but we're going to start tracking again next week, and then hopefully we'll have some more information for you guys next Wednesday about the upcoming weekend and into June that I can report back with. So, do you want to play one to take us out? How about Down in Blue? You want to do that one?
Oh yeah. Well, of course. Yeah. I started playing that one. I still haven't. So I haven't played Down in Blue all the way through, Dog. For 10 years, I bet.
Well, you're going to do it tonight because I just already told them.
Yeah, my thinking.
Go ahead.
Well, my thinking was next week I would like to do songs, like maybe even songs that never got recorded, just old songs that the diehards would recognize them from live shows.
Yeah.
But diehards from the solo era would recognize this one, not even from our duo era.
Those of you that are kind of just tuning in here, this solid 15 that I put up just now, John is actually going to be up in Helena. He's in Helena right now. Dog, come on, get with the program. This is going to be an event at Lewis and Clark on Friday, correct, John?
Yeah.
Johnny got invited to do with some other singer-songwriters, and he's going to play a few tunes, and as well are these folks here. So anybody in the area that would like to, John, is this going to be a live broadcast at all as well?
That I'm aware of. It is literally just going to be a small thing to whoever shows up, because obviously they're not expecting a ton of people as quarantine is kind of opening back up.
Okay, so anybody in Helena or the Helena area, if you would like to go to this, I'm sure they'd appreciate it. It's going to be a limited capacity, obviously, limited tables, all that stuff. But we'd love to, and I won't be there, but John would love to see you guys all there if you could. And I think that he's been highly encouraged by me several times to see if he can record a little bit of this on his phone, or someone can record it on his phone while he's playing, so that we can use this as a we can show it next week, maybe, buddy. So, make sure you are professional and don't, once you actually play like you got a pair for once.
Do you think that I should maybe show up in public and not be offensive?
That'd be great. All right, man.
Promises. I'm calling an audible on you. I'm not going to do the old one. I'm going to do one that I don't know if it's going on. Is Fragile Egos going on this one?
Yes, Fragile Egos is going to be the last song on the record. This is what the end of the song is what will take you out of the record.
We had talked about it, but then the couple revamps we've done, and I've lost track. But all right, so this is to take us out, a song called Fragile Egos, and it is a love song to being in a band. Also written by Mr. Jim Napier. Thank you all for hanging out tonight, guys. Thank you very, very much, man. My heart needs you all, including you, dog. My heart needs you desperately.
Knock it off.
I will put my hand on the Bible and say, Josh Keir is a total useless Yerk token Cuba monkey. But in private, I love your face, man. That's how it is.
We love you all. We miss you. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you.
I ain't trying to pick no fight, but you drink too much near every night. And I know I'm gonna have to quit someday, but the real me dies if I walk away. I don't wanna tell you what to do, but those skinny jeans will never look good on you. And the daydream money from the lies we're sold, but we need the real thing, cause the tank is low. Another show, we'll give him hell. Pile back in our mobile, wishing well, and take this hope, push on down the road, in a band full of fragile egos. Write the next verse, what it's all about. Another little piece of my soul comes out, and I share the melody in my ear. I hope it's what they want to hear. Which one of us done wrote that line? I guess it doesn't really matter if it gets us high. We're gonna chase that fire till it's finally lit. Lord knows it only takes one hit. Another show, and you know we'll give him hell. And pile back in our mobile, wishing well. Take this hope, push on down the road, in a van full of fragile egos. Set up, tear down, rinse, repeat. Crowd is the rhythm of my heartbeat, and the only time I really feel alive, when the lights come up to start the night. Just a drum with 6 steel strings, but the drug it always calls to me. And I know I'm gonna have to quit someday, but the real me dies if I walk away.
Damn straight. Good job, buddy.
Love you, doggy.
Chris, Don, thank you guys. We love you. Thanks for the donation. I love you, Johnny.
Thank you guys. Love you, dog. Love you
Good
all.
job.
Thank you guys for having our backs as sincere as I can be, man.
See you guys next week. Love y'all.
See you Wednesday for some old songs you ain't never heard.